fruit of all the work at the prison. This is what it's all about. We can take an animal from a shelter, you know, that wasn't wanted, and now is trained by, you know, inmates that, you know, it's a way for them to give back, and it's a win-win-win situation. You know, the pet wins, the inmate wins, and now these children win here at Washington Elementary. And this dog will now be able to be used for service to help some of these children through difficult times. And that's what this is all about. Right here, right now with these kids and Miss Bowie and the counselor, and then having to come from a shelter where nobody wanted sunshine to an inmate that a lot of people had all forgotten about. Now all these children want to be part of this dog's life. And it doesn't get any better than that. This is what it's all about, right here, right now. This is the fruit of all that work and labor.
In 2012, we made the Dogs of Lexington, a film on the only dog training program in Oklahoma's Department of Corrections, the Friends for Folks program at Lexington Prison. We screened the film for the Oklahoma Veterinary Medical Association, and the OVMA endorsed the dog training program for the first time in the Oklahoma veterinary medical profession. We also screened the film at the Oklahoma Museum of Art for the leadership of the Department of Corrections and the public.
I think we have a lot of potential here, and that's the purpose of the documentary, is I'm trying to sell this program to our state and to other areas too.
All it has to do is just get started in more prisons, and then it will speak for itself. It will produce the change. It just needs a chance to work. So.
And that night, thanks to the visionary leadership of the Department of Corrections, a decision was made to take the dog training program into a new prison for the first time in 22 years. A woman's prison, Mabel Bassett Prison.
I have this picture that I have saved for years and years. I showed it, we had it out earlier, and I actually put it down here. I'll share it with you because I think it's important. And I said if I could show you in one picture what it's like to be in prison, this is what it would be like. And I never in a million years thought that we would ever have dogs here. So this is my thing. And that's it. And I've seen this. This is what it's like to be in prison. I mean, you adapt and you get better at it, but I've saved this. This is my niece picture, so, you know. And our dogs came from that exactly, so, yeah.
I come from a long history of abandonment, neglect, and it's just going to be wonderful to be able to take an animal that has the same problems and just love that animal, make them feel wanted, make them feel loved, let them know that they are special.
Myself, I'm also from a broken home, a lot of dysfunction. At one point in my life, I was just basically just giving up, just put out there like I was meaningless, and now I have an opportunity to shine, I have a purpose, even though I'm in this setting, I'm doing something. I'm just not existing. I have a purpose, and this program is my purpose right now.
Many of us have been through abuse, and many of us have been left behind. And so being able to reach out and take care of something else and bring hope and life back to another life, that's pretty awesome. And I think that'll help us heal too from our issues and things that we have. I know it will me.
It's just being able to love, to care for something that's been hurt like you have, to rebuild, to give and get that love back, unconditional.
Hera Church volunteers partnered with us to help transport dogs in and out of Mabel Bassett Prison. Then, of course, we needed dogs.
We just talked to Dr. Otto a little bit at Hera Church about possibly providing some dogs for the Mabel Bassett launch, and that all of the dogs would be vetted. They would go through our spay-neuter clinic, and that we would have an in-house vet that could take care of them should any problems arise while they're at the prison. And he said it sounds like a real great potential partnership, and we stayed in touch, and here we are now. I mean, the dogs that are going into Mabel Bassett are dogs that would be very hard for us to place otherwise because they have behavior problems, they're not house trained, they're jumping fences, they have manner issues where they are jumping on people or just don't understand personal space. And so those are hard for us to find homes for. And so he's helping our program by putting these dogs through a training process so that they can then find their homes, but he's also helping the animals help the people, which I think is really cool. Because I think that there is a lot to be said about having an animal in anyone's life, and we are trying to rehabilitate our animals here in our programs, but I think in turn it's also helping to rehabilitate the people, which I think is very inspiring.
To help inmate trainers at Mabel Bassett succeed, their first 3 dogs were pre-trained by inmate trainers at Lexington Prison. Coco at first shrank from being touched because of previous beatings. Lady came from a puppy mill where she'd been confined to a cage all her life with no human contact, except when they came to take her puppies away. Hannah had been returned 6 times to the shelter, rejected over and over by previous owners because she was too spirited.
All the men here has done everything they could do to help us to get ready to where our ladies can see that they can make a difference. And our ladies are really ready. They're excited. The whole facility is. That's all we hear every day. When's your dogs coming in? When's your dogs coming in? I'm a little mushy here, but anything we can do to help the offenders to realize that they're humans and they are still worth the time that we invest in them.
Well, for 22 years it's been down here at Lexington, and it's just amazing that finally it's going to get to go somewhere else, and how amazing that it's going to go to the female prison. I always thought the female offenders out there really needed something to give back to the community, and this will give them something that they can train the dogs and give back. Because it's a lot of hard work. It's not all fun and games training the dogs, but the rewards are so great, they're going to really enjoy that.
I miss you.
Hannah, you're gonna roll with me.
Do good. Sit, Hannah. Sit. Give me a shake goodbye. Give me a shake goodbye. Give me a shake. Shake. Good girl.
So I'm ready to start my new adventure.
Good girl.
Bye, Hannah.
These abandoned dogs really need somebody to care about them. And what's interesting is that the inmates, they also need somebody to care about them. And so it's a mutual love there because they're caring about one another.
For some of our inmate trainers at Mabel Bassett, it's been over 16 years since they last touched a dog.
It's going to spend the night. That's right.
She's rambunctious. Wow.
So this is a lot of activity for her. She's a little overstimulated right now. She came from a puppy mill. Yeah. So she's coming along. Yeah.
Are you? It's okay.
She's a cuddler, from what I heard. They said you have to lay down. This is what Mr. Miller told me. Yeah, hold her.
Just hold her like a baby.
I gotta support her back there. There you go.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
Alan, you're listening over here.
Am I missing?
I like you too. That's right. It's so we've been waiting on you. Oh. I heard she's a lot like us. Yeah. You're a good-looking dog. You're as good-looking as they said you were.
She thinks she's getting
Oh wow.
going on, isn't there, baby girl? There's a lot going on. Yeah, you're not shaking? You done shaking? Are you done shaking?
Me too.
She's never been quite like that. Yeah, she's pretty excited.
I think she's very intuitive because we are so enthused. You know what I mean?
You know, it's an American story of forgotten people, forgotten animals coming together and reuniting. You know, something in the soul gets resurrected. I think that there are a lot of extraordinary people who are sitting in prisons, living their lives out in a prison cell, who had some pretty unlucky moments as a young person. You know, this woman over here has been in for 16 years. I overheard her say that. And imagine the number of people. Well, Oklahoma, you know, we incarcerate more women than any place on the face of the planet. So, program expansion, that's what you would want to see here. You would want to see this type of program expand here at Mabel Bassett. You want to see this type of program expand across the state.
The reason that I think we all wanted to get involved in this is this is something really awesome, and it's a way for us to help ourselves and to help others and just be something really, really positive. It's a cool opportunity.
When you come to prison, you aren't allowed affection, and you're not allowed, you're not allowed to have this kind of interaction. So it's so wonderful to love on something again and to feel affection again. It softens you a little bit. You know, I've been locked up a long time, so I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
Whatever I can do, my staff can do. We know what the program can do for an individual and their life. And this morning I went down to the offenders' cells before they knew everything. They were so excited you would think it was almost Christmas Day for them. It's been great. Be honest with you, it has. I've learned a lot about the program. I've learned a lot about Dr. Otto, and there's nothing bad I can say about John.
Not on camera, anyway.
I wouldn't do that. Everything's been excellent, really. He keeps me busy now. When he calls, he has a lot of information. My pen is moving fast, so he keeps me informed on everything that's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It's been a good team.
Been a great team.
Yeah.
We're looking for much more.
Yeah.
Much more.
Much more in the future. So it's been very good.
It has.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Hannah. Welcome to the family.
Thank you for your vision. That's cool.
You guys now carry it.
Yeah.
It's your gift, so you carry it on for me, okay?
Yes.
Because this is my gift to you guys.
Amen.
And to the animals too. So you take care of them, and then you'll be able to give this to other people too as they come into the program. You watch; it'll be amazing. Also, I want you to write letters about the pets. The inmates at Lexington have done that for you today, but I want you to write letters describing the personality of them and your relationship, and then I want you to be able to give those to recipients, okay? It's amazing how the transformation occurs, and that's what I love, is because I'll see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
And I'll see it in their eyes. And that's why I love it so much. That's why I've done this for so long. That's why I worked so damn hard to get to this day. It took 22 years to put these dogs into these ladies' arms. It's been well worth every second.
We're trying to help the women when they get out, that they'll also be just like these dogs. But when they get out, they'll find a good home. They won't ever return back into the system. Okay, ladies, are we ready to have some fun now?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay.
Oh my God, so excited.
What's going on? Where are you going?
Yeah, he knows. He's just there.
Wow. Wait. Here we go. There we go. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
reaction to Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Look, keep walking. I think she needs to really use the restroom. Here we go. She's walking me now. Oh, yeah.
Where do we put it?
Well, what do you think you'll put in trash?
I know, but we don't have trash.
No, you put it in your indoor trash.
She was never wanted. She never had a lot of human contact. Nobody ever took the time to love her. And that, amazingly enough, almost parallels my childhood and my life story. So I feel like we have a bond automatic anyways. But I have so much of me to give, and I've never had that opportunity for anyone to receive it. So it's just, I feel like we have a bond already. So much to give to this little baby who's never been loved. That's just, I can't wait to watch her blossom and bloom and not be scared and shy. I just can't wait for that.
She's been given a chance, and I've been given a chance as well. It's about chances.
It's such a great opportunity. It's so exciting. It's just wonderful.
She's been, she was placed out from the Humane Society, and she's been returned 6 times. She's a very active dog, and what they were telling me was that if, you know, if they don't get the exercise they need, they can be destructive. And she, of course, she kept jumping fences and getting away from her owners. So we're going to work with that, because we want the 7th time to be lucky 7. We want that to work. That's our goal, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. She's a sweet dog. She just, I guess, kept getting away.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be wonderful to actually go out and do something normal. You do it out in the world. Go take your dog outside. You know, it's been 4 years since I've been able to do that. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be an amazing experience. I can't wait. I'm actually excited to get up in the morning at 5:30.
But it feels even better than I expected, because I've been disappointed, so I didn't really want to let my, get my hopes completely up. So I was prepared for disappointment. So this is way better.
Awesome. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. It's something that we've all really worked for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
You know, we started with August is when we did the applications. We started this in August, and it's taken this long to get it together and get it started and get it rolling. It's just like, yes, let's do this.
Just today, just a little bit of time that we've spent with them, and going, how could anybody not want this? Because I think we both had things in our lives where, we have been just looked over, and have been passed around or just passed off and said, okay, well, we don't want you now. We don't need you, no. I think being able to help him know that he matters will help us know too that we matter, and we're not just something that can be passed over and something that can be just looked over and forgot about. Because I think, sometimes we even tend to think that way. When you get in here and your family, they have a life and they go on, and sometimes you feel left out and forgotten. And I think that'll help us know that we matter and that we can make a difference in their lives.
I mean, if you are in a stark institution, and the routine is always the same, and there's no one coming to visit, and then you bring a joyful, happy-go-lucky dog into this environment, there's no possibility that it's going to pull you down, but it's going to build you up. And when you're being built up, then then hope starts to grow. It's like a seed planted, and to give hope the ability to start growing and become alive in your heart. And then it just makes things look far better in your life.
Over the next few weeks, the inmate trainers of Mabel Bassett applied what they'd been studying before the dogs arrived and learned how to become trainers in the only way you can, by actually training the dogs day in and day out. One of the great things about this program is you don't need any new facilities to get the program up and running. Then the little homeless girl who helped create the very first prison dog program and went on to become Sister Pauline Quinn came to visit and inspire the inmate trainers of Mabel Bassett.
Thank you so much. I came back from Argentina to help start the third program down there. They have programs in Poland and many European countries. So I'm just telling you, especially you, no matter how hopeless it might seem for you now, there's something that is going to happen in your life. And even if you are here for life, you can still do things from the inside to make it better for other people. And I think that's what helped me in my life, is that when, with all the pain that I had, that by helping other people, then I became healed. It's a long, hard road, but if you get up and keep going, then you'll finally succeed in this. And I guarantee that, because I changed and I was considered hopeless by some, because I was so damaged. In fact, I couldn't even talk. This is a chance to let go of your feelings and help the others on the unit with your dogs, and smile and be happy, if you can be happy in here. But I think that by doing this and seeing all these people come to encourage you, I think that's fantastic. So thank you so very much. I give you a clap. Move into your dog like this. So, and also attention. Watch me. And when her head moves down, you want to whip that head up. Watch me. Watch me. Dogs learn differently. So always don't feel jealous or whatever if one dog is doing better than the other. You just have to go at your own speed and know that some of these dogs need more time because they have been maybe abused. They need more time to socialize with people, to feel that people love them, and then the training will come easier for them. Everybody has pain and some sorrows and sadnesses, and we have to just have faith that good things will happen.
As a parting gift, Sister Pauline gave the trainers St. Francis medals, blessed by a priest.
Thank you. I had so much abuse in my life that when I started going up, I couldn't deal with it. I could not deal with success. And many people in the institutions can't deal with success because they have such low self-esteem. They say, success doesn't belong in my life. I'm a bad person. I don't want success. And so I think what helped me is to come all the way to the top and be so confused at who am I? Who am I? And then learning through these programs that I know who I am. I am a person that cares about other people, and I'm not a bad person no matter what anybody thinks of me, because I know my heart. And then I started to be comfortable with who I am and who I was becoming. And that's the hardest thing for inmates too, is to feel that they are worthy of anything that's good. It's hard.
Opened up some walls, that have been built for quite a while, which was really pretty cool. Things that I'd forgot, and feelings I'd forgot, emotions and feelings, lots of memories from childhood that I'd forgot, especially being raised around, animals and in the country and all that, kind of made me really look real hard at my past and, deal with some issues, and it's really been awesome.
Being able to give attention and time to something other than myself, and just that sense of peace sometimes that only a little guy like this can do. You know, the world, even prayer sometimes just doesn't give you exactly what you need, and in the way I believe, my faith, God uses all things, and for me, this little guy right here did a lot for me in that respect, and just dropping walls, learning to communicate in different ways. A sense of love, you know, that I didn't have before, or that I had just shut down.
As inmates, we get looked down on a lot. So you have to look within yourself for your self-esteem. That's why they call it that. But it's even particularly hard in here because you're judged repeatedly. We're told we're not special. We hear that a million times. You're not special. No special privileges. No special this. Right. I'm in prison. That's not special. You know, so that's my reality. So it constantly does. So I can walk in this room, and Hannah, I'm special. To Hannah thinks that we are special. So yeah. It is an absolute breath of fresh air.
With the right amount of love and attention, miracles can happen. People saw her and thought, there's no way. I thought there's no way that she's gonna ever come out of that. I didn't think there was anything I can do that was gonna make her come out of that. And so it's just that feeling to know that something I did helped her and will help her be normal for the rest of her life. That's such a gratifying feeling. Makes me want to do it again. She knows now how to give and to receive love. It has been such a blessing to watch that. I've loved watching her transform. It has been like watching a true life miracle. It's an experience that I will never forget.
I love the way she goes super silly crazy for you every time she sees you. It warms my heart. It's happy tears and it's sad tears. And I can see how much you both love Hannah too. The gleam in Mrs. Daniels' eyes whenever she sees Hannah says it all. Her whole face smiles actually. And when C.O. Daniel picks Hannah up, like she weighs nothing and holds her in her arms like a baby, I can't help but laugh out loud. It's just so darn cute. And Hannah loves it.
Bottom line, I'm simply lovable, cute, handsome, smart. Did I say lovable? I am. And adorable. Oh, and spoiled. I'm sure you'll have no problem with me. I'm so anxious to get to my new life. My new life started with you. So come on. Take me home, I'm ready. We were being silly last night and we took the lipstick and we put it on his paw to make a autograph on his letter, like he wrote it. And then I put the pen in his hand so he could sign his own name. Coco's autograph.
It's absolutely a good thing. And yeah, it's sad because you get attached. It's, I think, almost impossible to spend day after day loving and training an animal and not get attached. But the fact that I was able to instill things in her to make her a good companion for somebody else, it's like a trifold circle. It's just like a domino effect, and the fact that she's going to help somebody else to be happy, that makes it all worth it. And then it's helping me to change and become a better person. So of course it's absolutely worth it.
Letting go of something that you get attached to is not easy, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's okay. A few tears, not a problem. Not a problem.
The fact that I could be affectionate and playful and lovable and still find that part of myself that was buried in there for so many years, it's just felt really good, you know, to be human again. And And she gave that back to me. So, you know, it's sometimes you wonder if you go for so many long years like I did, you wonder, am I still human? Do I still feel? Am I still capable if there's not an outlet for that? And so to have her here has been an absolute blessing. It's the grace of God.
I'm not going to stay up here long and say a whole lot, but what I do want to do, I want to, of course, thank Dr. John Otto for what he's done to get us to the point to have the first graduation for the Guardian Angels dog program here in Mabel Bassett.
Usually we just have at these graduations the recipients of the animals there, and then later we'll get the other ones, but I felt like in this situation we really needed to replace these right away.
Good job. Smiling with her pink bow. And for those of you in January, we could not have got her to walk on a leash for anything.
Lady sit. Lady stay.
She walks with great pride in her step.
Lady stay.
Not too bad for 3 months.
Wow. Good girl.
And you may take your dog.
I know, buddy, I know. Sit. Sit. Down.
Miss Tennant and Miss McDonald are trainers.
Coco. Come here, buddy. Come on, big guy. Come on, you.
I thought today would be beneficial because the ladies are losing the dogs they've worked with for so long. And I felt like it would be a good time to replace that right away, that loss. And really hats off to the ladies for what they've been through. This is not easy at all to give up what you love. That's become part of your life here. The ladies are going to have their hands full with this next group. Many of these animals, I think, you've already heard, have been returned 2 to 6 times. I think that's where a lot of the magic of this program comes in, is that they see themselves in these animals and what they've been through and what they have to overcome. And for them to overcome these things, they have to become other-centered too. And and Sister Pauline Quinn said that's really the key to this, is becoming other-centered.
And she's so excited. It feels really cool. Because she's excited and she's real loving and real affectionate, and so that kind of helps with the transition for me. It really does. It's an awesome moment, and she seems very receptive, and she's going to be lots of fun. She's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Hey.
More to learn, because Hannah was a little bit trained and this one's not, so I can grow, and it's awesome. I think it's going to be great.
And it'll make me a stronger person all the way around, you know. To know that I can do, it'll build my confidence. I was scared to death when I found out I was getting a bigger dog. Scared to death because I don't have that confidence. So this will just make me have to jump in and do it because I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to let the dog down.
The trainers did jump in and do it, and they grew in number as the program expanded, helping more inmates and more dogs transform their lives together.
The opportunity you guys have is just a golden opportunity and the potential to do something for not only for the animals but for the public and for yourselves, because you guys can benefit from this too, and it's just endless, and the potential is there for everybody. It's a win-win-win situation. I have not ever found anyone who has seen the program that doesn't support it.
It's a lot more to it than training dogs. On the dog training is the easy part. It's getting the ladies or the men to focus in on their emotions. You've shut the door on their emotions and their love, and what happens when they start being around
dogs, it brings up the memories, those fond memories of the love that they once had. So they open that door, and then things that didn't bother them before inside of an institution starts to bother them. They get their feelings hurt that they didn't used to. So you deal with those issues. And you say, well, how do you deal with those? You got to encourage them. You can't put them down, because that's what they've been used to for years. They don't have that self-worth and the confidence. If these ladies or the men or whoever gets ready to do this will have confidence that they can give love to that dog and train that dog, it's a piece of cake.
She's so scary. She was timid, she was shy, and she was scared. And me, I was like, I wasn't putting up with it. And when I realized that I had the power to actually help this dog out to where she can actually walk up and sniff people, you know, even though she's scared, she can sniff people, that made me feel good inside. To, like I said, because I can change a life, and I didn't know that I could. But it really happened when I became a trainer, because I was scared to death. I cried. I don't want to be a trainer. I don't think I'm ready for this. I'm not going to be able to do it. And I was afraid to fail. And there were people that believed in me, and I didn't like the fact that they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So I had to do something to believe in myself, and now I believe in myself a lot more.
It's easy to allow emotions to control me. It's easy to allow the opinions of other people to control me. It's easy to slip back into that, and I have to reframe myself and refocus and remind myself, no, I am not that person. I am strong, I am determined, I am confident, I am, and I'm going to be that person. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, regardless if it's in here for the next 25 years or if I get out and do something out there. But I refuse. I lost everything that mattered to me, everything. I refuse to do that. I refuse.
As profound as these changes are, they are just the beginning of the ripple effect, as these companion dogs go out into the community to change and uplift lives. For a dog who lived for years in a crate, Lady has a beautiful new home, a new owner who loves her, and a new sister so she will never again be forced to live in solitary confinement. Coco's new owner, Leela Harris, lost her husband soon after they got Coco, and Coco has been able to help her through a very difficult time.
This house is a big house, and it would be so empty without him. Let's go. You ready? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I think he was trained very well. If I speak the words that they say, he immediately minds me. I thought they did wonderful. I couldn't have asked for them to have trained him any better. I think it would help them a lot whenever they got out to be more loving toward their family. There's so much love that he can give you.
Well, before I had Hannah, I was really kind of in a depressed state. And Hannah has brought me so much joy. She's got me out and about and doing things that before I wouldn't push myself to do. I've actually lost about 30 pounds. Good girl. They did a fantastic job with her. She's taught me the meaning of true companionship. I've learned from Hannah, even when you feel like there's nothing worth going on for every day, that something as simple as a dog can change your life.
Dogs can have a profound impact on mental health. This year, a service dog went into Griffin Psychiatric Hospital for the first time ever. David Parker from the DOC came to celebrate this expansion of the dog program.
First of all, I think Quigley's going to help out with the staff. I mean, you saw in the reception the faces of the people. I think he'll help morale and attitudes and hopefully help us remember what's important in life. And then I think he's going to help with the people that we serve, just in the way that dogs do that. You know, I don't claim to know how that works, but I know it works.
The most important thing that a guy has to do who has post-traumatic stress is the ups and downs of their emotional trauma, and the dogs that we've been using help very much to calm the veteran, to give them someone that they can trust, someone that gives them unconditional love, because many of them have really been abandoned by their families, by the buddies that they've known in the past. So having that companion dog gives them someone with unconditional love who's looking out for them, and it also gives them a measure of feeling secure and safe.
When I first got her, we almost immediately bonded, and she could tell all my feelings, how if I started feeling stressed or agitated or anything, she comes up and she nudges my hand, and which causes me to pet her and start thinking I've got someone other than myself to think of. Think of her now, and she's always got my six when we're sitting somewhere. Most usually she's watching behind me, and it's just like one of my buddies when I was in the military would watch behind me.
We've had stories where guys were contemplating suicide, but they didn't want to leave their dog because they were afraid no one would take care of their dog quite like they do. So it becomes such a strong bond of someone who cares for me and someone that I care for. And what I'd hope is that every service member, male or female, who would like to have a companion service dog would be able to have one.
She goes with me, pretty much everywhere I go. If I go, I went to a doctor's appointment, and she goes with me to the doctor's appointments. She's just there to help me.
So she does a lot more than just emotional support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now if I could just teach her to go get my Mountain Dews when I want them, and we'd be doing great.
I bet you could train her to do that.
I think we could.
And that program helped me, and I know it helped you.
Oh,
you know, I mean, even just being able to be calm one day.
There's so many benefits of that program. For one, you're out on the yard,
right?
And you got guys wanting to fight and stuff all the time,
right? Right.
And you get back to them dogs, and it kind of just releases that emotion in you that you can't release.
Right, right.
And it just calms and soothes you so much that it's just amazing.
It was like,
and it keeps you from getting in trouble.
That's right. The program stands on its own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing bad you can say about that program. That program has helped man and animal. It's helped elderly and sickly. It's helped me. When we're training a dog, we get the enjoyment of loving and being loved every day. You know, every day you wake up, that dog is there. And every day you wake up, that dog is wagging his tail. It's got its own life, man. This program has its own life, and it's really helpful. It opened my eyes to being a real man. Some people, just because you turn 21, that don't make you a man.
No.
It doesn't make you a man. You know, and it helped me blossom into the man that I am today. You know, and am I fully in bloom? No. But if I keep trucking along, one day I'm gonna be this full-blown flower, you know. I got locked up, incarcerated in 1992, and I didn't come home to 2008. So 16 years. The time before that was 10 years. So you're looking at 28 years that I've spent in prison of my life. And got involved with that program, and it still took time for me to grow up as a man, to see things more clearly, to become more mature, to accept the things that I had done as being negative, you know. change my outlook, change my attitude, change. And I know Rick can reiterate that, man. You have to change. You have to change. And I'm loving life now, loving it.
What Daryl and Rick have done with their lives is testimony to the power of this program. But what about the children of the incarcerated? 70% of these children will end up incarcerated themselves without some sort of intervention. 70%. My son Peyton and I wrote a children's book to help break this terrible cycle called Marvin's Shining Star. Based on the true story of the inmate trainer Marvin Perry and Star, the dog he trained who saved the life of a woman with Alzheimer's, an act which helped to get Marvin paroled and reunited with his daughter Marva. It's a true story of hope and redemption. We partnered with the Oklahoma Messages Project and All Saints School, which Sister Pauline visited on her trip to Oklahoma. The children there made Christmas presents for the children of the incarcerated, which included our book and a stuffed toy version of Star made by the inmates at Mabel Bassett.
Sometimes that's all they get is these little things that we do in here. And it's the only thing they can to have to hold on to from their mother. And that can mean the world to those children. And I think about that a lot.
We got our own little dog program right here. They all have their own personality.
Children helping children, inmates helping children. Those are great and wonderful things. But ultimately, the key to all of this is education.
I've talked to a number of the offenders that are in the program, and you don't really think about this, but with this being a female facility, of course, the mothering aspect, they realized, and I just talked to one probably 30 minutes ago, and she told me how much this has helped her and realize the things that she did wrong with her children. Now that she's responsible for this dog, and people don't think of that as being a mode of teaching someone how should you raise your children, but she says she has used this to realize the things that she's done wrong, because she's responsible for this dog now. She understands that the dog needs discipline. The dog also needs love.
In schools today, the biggest challenge we have is not the teaching of content, but it's making those emotional connections with kids. So kids come out of communities with lots of issues. This is one issue that some kids face, but other kids face issues of losses of parents through death, issues related to drug abuse in their homes, abuse. There's lots of these issues that this kind of program really can make the connection for those kids. So it's a really much bigger population of students that we can impact with these kinds of things. And my job is to say to our teachers and our counselors, what are the tools you need to be successful so that we can do and meet that mission of learning. Dr. Otto comes to us and says, here's a tool that might help reach some kids. I think it's our responsibility to make sure that that happens in our schools.
Over 27 years of experience, that's what I've seen with the Department of Correction. You have to educate people to keep them from prison, and you have to educate them once they get here in order to keep them from coming back.
There's a reason why they're here, and I don't think most people are born to do bad things. I think they grow into those things. We have to get to that root, and these kinds of programs help get to the root cause, possibly, of why somebody made the choices they made that maybe put them in this position.
Typically, and of course that's just my opinion, when you get into a correctional facility, you may have some classes and some things that you can go do and all of these things, but it's not truly rehabilitation. You can rehabilitate people to a certain degree, but this is for the heart and the mind and the spirit, and correctional facilities typically don't cover all that.
It's exciting and overwhelming all at the same time. It's exciting because of what this program does for everybody. We take the dogs to see the elderly people here, and there's people that get out of bed to come see the dogs that don't ever get out of bed, which is exciting because going to prolong their lives. It gives them a reason to still be here and not just curl up in bed and wither away.
Smiles when we walk in with they wait for it, they anticipate it. You know, we have shown the tricks that we've taught them, or we walk them and show them the commands that we've taught them that week. You know, we get silly with them, or, you know, and they just laugh, and the laughter that you get because they have a very scary world.
Oh, it feels great to be able to make other people happy, bring spirit to their soul. I mean, it just thrills their whole day here. Yeah. And when they see you out on the yard, they're like, when are you going to bring the dogs back over? It's like, as soon as possible, I hope. So, yeah, they really look forward to it. So we do too, because we like to see that the smile, the love and affection they want to give the dogs too as well. So, yeah, it's great.
It just warms you inside because you just be like, look, they're laughing. They actually laugh. And you know, even the ones that's bedridden, they're so happy and they just love to see them come. And the ones in the wheelchairs, they just love them. And it just brings peace to know that little bit of joy that you're feeling for that day, that little bit of happiness that you brought to somebody that day, you can feel that, you know, for a long time to come. And it's just it makes you feel so good inside.
To see them with them, it makes me sad that I pushed my family away, but it makes me happy that I can bring joy to these ladies, that I can give them, even if we're over there for 30 minutes, and I can give them 30 minutes of happiness and hope. It's worth it. It's worth it to me.
I like what Dr. Viktor Frankl said, and he was a Jewish psychiatrist who was in the Holocaust. And he said that everybody was in pain, but the ones that survived the most were the ones that went out and helped their fellow human beings that were also suffering. And that made them find having purpose for their suffering. And the purpose is, I found, to help another person. And then by seeing them having relief and, wow, I have a new journey, I can see the light, then that makes you feel better. So I think the key for me was to find ways to help other people.
That's when they will make huge advances in themselves and in their rehabilitation and enjoying life. That's what this is all about. You want to be able to go out and enjoy life, not endure or survive life. You want to be able to enjoy it. And through this program, you can learn to do that. And that is a tremendous gift that is given by this program.
When you go to serve other people, you're blessed even more. And we're finding that to be absolutely true with our people. We have a group of about 8 to 10 people that go in every other week. They love it. They told me about 2 weeks ago, they said that they get more out of it than the prisoners do when they go in.
These women have brought God's love to the whole prison. And we've seen it spread from the offenders to the other inmates to the guards and to the administration. It's a fantastic program, and to be part of it is just, it's almost like a thrill of a lifetime.
Yes.
The key word is love. You learn how to love, you learn what it means to be loved, and that's the most powerful thing in the world is love.
To celebrate the power of this program, to restore and redeem and reform an individual to be all that God created them to be, Daryl Cody donated $100,000 to build a new dog training facility at Mabel Bassett in memory of his beloved wife of over 49 years, Cyrilda, who had a deep love for Daryl, dogs, and people.
I heard this all of my life, that a dog is pure love. Mm-hmm. And that's what a dog is. You just turn this love loose on wherever they go. They're going to bring love and peace. This dog program is a great symbol of what love can do.
Yeah. Former Lieutenant Governor Jerry Askins led the groundbreaking ceremony, of course with a little help from Star.
Happy dog! Happy dog! That's applause.
But you don't need a training facility to start this program, which Mabel Bassett inmates have named the Guardian Angels, a program that's changing and uplifting the lives of inmates and dogs at Mabel Bassett, using nothing but cells, hallways, and yards.
If you make the excuse, oh, I don't have enough space, or you make the excuse, oh, it could be a security risk in this area, or oh man, we just ain't got the manpower. If you make that excuse, you're just making excuses. All you have to do as a warden or as a superintendent, all you have to do is want it. It will carry its own weight. It doesn't need me as a spokesman, this man as a spokesman. This program is going to stand on its own merit because it's created by God, for God, and it's going to do God's work.
The law says that the purpose of incarceration is rehabilitation. That's easier for some than for others. It's a longer period of time for some than it is others. But most of the time, we find that rehabilitation takes place once that incarcerated person finds value in what they do because they feel they've been discarded by society, many of them discarded by their families. I've watched many of the people who are training the dogs and then those who receive the trained dogs. They smile from ear to ear. It's not something they have to tell you about. It shows. You can see the pride they take in having done something with the animal. I mean, they sleep with them. They work with them. They take them out, play with them. That's huge for their state of mind and their rehabilitative process. And it's just as healing for them as it is for the veteran or the person who receives that trained animal. Sweet. I would love to see this program in all the penal institutions. It's a great way to bring families back together. It's a great way for those who have invisible wounds, those wounds of the mind and heart, to help them find healing. And I think if we had the program in every prison in the state of Oklahoma, we'd still have trouble getting enough dogs trained to be able to meet all the needs that are out there.
I want to be a motivational speaker to young children because I think that when you're 8, 9, 10 years old and you feel like you have no direction and you feel like you have no hope for your own self and you have no sense of purpose or you have no self-esteem, no confidence, then that's when you turn to other people or other things to give you your validation or make you feel worthy. And that's when you turn to your drugs or your people or relationships or whatever. Just if I can reach people at that age before they start doing things and making them realize that they are worth something. It doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. You are worth something now. You can be something. Before they start turning to those things, then maybe they won't end up in prison and they won't be here and they won't be 35 like I am, figuring out things that they should have learned way back. If I can change the behavior of a dog, then I know I can help change the behavior of a person. And every single time I feel like I can get through to an animal that has no trust in people, that's been having bad behavior and no discipline and no obedience and no love and no trust, and I get them to trust in me to where they obey me and they have discipline, then I know that I can do that with a 9, 10-year-old kid. I know I can. If I can do that here, then I know I can do it there. And I know that a dog and a person are two different things, but I just know that if I can do that here, I can do that there. And I've never believed that before. I've never believed that I can make a difference in a person's life until I started doing it with the dog.